When people picture the United States, they often see a land of skyscrapers, Hollywood mansions, and endless opportunity, a place where the American dream is alive. This powerful idea has drawn millions, fueled by a history of economic growth unmatched in modern times. But how did a collection of colonies become the world's largest economy? The answer lies in a story of vast resources, relentless innovation, and the hopes of millions who came seeking a better life. America's wealth is rooted in both triumphs and challenges, shaping the world we know today. The journey starts with the land itself, a continent rich in fertile soil, forests, and minerals. But resources alone weren't enough. It took people with ideas and ambition. From early settlers to waves of immigrants, America became a melting pot of cultures and aspirations. The promise of land, business, and freedom from old-world constraints was a powerful magnet. To understand America's economic power, we must look back, tracing the path from colonial outposts to the digital age. We'll explore key moments, pivotal decisions, and the inventions that sparked explosive growth. Wars that devastated others often strengthened the U.S. economy. Inventions from the cotton gin to the iPhone have repeatedly redefined what's possible. This is the story of how a nation was built, and how it became so rich. Let's begin at the very foundation. America's wealth began with the first European settlements in the 1600s, rugged outposts, not grand cities. In the north, colonies like Massachusetts relied on small farms, fishing, and trade, forging a culture of hard work and cooperation. This focus on trade and craftsmanship laid crucial groundwork for future prosperity. In the south, fertile land and warm climate made cash crops like tobacco and rice incredibly profitable. But this agricultural wealth was built on the backs of enslaved Africans, creating riches for a few and deep inequalities that still echo today. Two distinct economies emerged: commerce in the north, agriculture in the south, creating both dynamism and tension. The colonies supplied raw materials to Britain and bought finished goods in return, a system called mercantilism. Yet colonists became skilled merchants, sailors, and artisans, developing complex trade networks beyond just England. A new American entrepreneur was born, people like Benjamin Franklin, who blended invention with business savvy. This mix of resources, diverse economies, and self-reliance planted the seeds of American prosperity. But the real transformation was yet to come. The colony's economic foundation set the stage for explosive growth. The spirit of enterprise and innovation would soon reshape the nation. The groundwork was laid. Now, the revolution would begin. Enter the age of industry. After independence, the U.S. faced the challenge of building a unified economy. The Industrial Revolution, imported from Britain, changed everything. Samuel Slater's water-powered textile mill in 1793 kick-started America's industrial age. Factories sprang up in the north, powered by rivers, drawing thousands from farms to cities. A new urban working class emerged, shifting America from rural to industrial. Meanwhile, Eli Whitney's cotton gin made cotton king in the South, fueling a massive plantation boom. And tragically, a resurgence of slavery. The government helped knit the nation together, with leaders like Alexander Hamilton pushing for a national bank and infrastructure projects. The Erie Canal, completed in 1825, connected the Midwest to the Atlantic, slashing transportation costs and creating a true national market. Manufacturing, finance, and agriculture became deeply intertwined. The North's factories and the South's plantations powered explosive growth, but also deepened the nation's divides. America was now an industrial force, but its ambitions stretched even further. The next chapter would be written across a vast continent. The drive for expansion and the resources it promised would shape the nation's destiny. The industrial engine was running. Now, it needed fuel. The age of expansion had arrived. Let's see how America's land became its greatest asset. The 19th century was defined by manifest destiny, the belief that America was meant to span the continent. The Louisiana Purchase and westward expansion unlocked vast resources: fertile plains, gold, silver, and copper. The Great Plains became the nation's breadbasket, while the gold rush drew dreamers and built new communities. The Transcontinental Railroad, completed in 1869, stitched the country together, moving resources east and goods west. Cities like Chicago boomed as national markets emerged. But this expansion came at a terrible cost. Native American societies were displaced, treaties broken, and the buffalo nearly wiped out. The wealth of a nation was built on both opportunity and dispossession. America's resources fueled its rise, but the consequences were profound. The stage was set for the next era, one of industry, invention, and immense fortunes. The Gilded Age was about to begin. Meet the titans who would shape modern America. The Gilded Age, from 1870 to 1900, was an era of explosive industrial growth and immense fortunes. Titans like Andrew Carnegie in steel, John D. Rockefeller in oil, and Cornelius Vanderbilt in railroads built empires that transformed the economy. Carnegie's embrace of new technology made steel the backbone of modern America. Rockefeller's Standard Oil became a near monopoly, controlling almost all U.S. oil refining. Inventions flourished. Thomas Edison's light bulb and power plants electrified cities, while Alexander Graham Bell's telephone revolutionized communication. But wealth was concentrated at the top, while millions of workers, many immigrants, labored in harsh conditions. Labor unions formed, cities grew crowded, and social tensions simmered. This era laid the foundation for America's 20th century power, but also deep divisions. The nation was poised for global influence. The next test would come on the world stage. America's rise to superpower status was about to begin. The 20th century's world wars devastated Europe and Asia, but transformed the U.S. into an economic powerhouse. During World War I, America supplied the Allies, boosting farms and factories. By war's end, the U.S. was the world's leading creditor, with New York rivaling London as a financial center. The pattern repeated in World War II. The war effort ended the Great Depression, mobilized industry, and put millions to work. Women entered the workforce in record numbers, symbolized by Rosie the Riveter. Massive government investment in science and technology led to breakthroughs like radar, penicillin, and the atomic bomb. By 1945, America stood alone as the world's dominant economic and military superpower. Its industrial base was unmatched, while rivals lay in ruins. The post-war years would bring unprecedented prosperity. The American dream was about to reach new heights. Suburbs, highways, and consumer culture would define the next era. The middle class would boom, and so would America's global influence. Let's explore the golden age of growth. After World War II, America entered a golden age of prosperity. The GI Bill fueled education, homeownership, and a construction boom, especially in the suburbs. Mass-produced communities like Levittown made homeownership possible for millions. The interstate highway system connected the nation, boosting commerce and mobility. A powerful consumer culture emerged, with rising wages and new products advertised on television. American brands became global icons, and "Made in America" meant quality. The Cold War spurred massive investment in defense and technology, creating millions of jobs. This era of growth expanded the middle class and solidified America's position as the world's richest nation. But change was coming. The next revolution would be digital. As the industrial boom faded in the 1970s, a new revolution began in Silicon Valley. The microprocessor made computers smaller, cheaper, and more powerful, unleashing a wave of innovation. Visionaries like Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, Bill Gates, and Paul Allen turned computers into household tools. The internet's rise in the 1990s sparked the dot-com boom, transforming industries and creating immense wealth. Companies like Amazon and Google redefined commerce and information. The digital economy, built on information and connectivity, made U.S. tech firms global giants. But the decline of manufacturing jobs and the rise of tech brought new challenges, including inequality and questions about privacy and power. The digital frontier continues to drive wealth and change. America's economy is now defined by innovation and adaptation. The story isn't over, it's evolving. Today, the U.S. economy is a dynamic engine powered by innovation, diversity, and resilience. Research labs, universities, and entrepreneurs keep America at the cutting edge in fields like AI, biotech, and clean energy. The nation's world-class higher education system attracts top talent from around the globe. Wall Street provides the capital that fuels startups and corporations alike. Diversity is a profound asset. Immigrants bring new skills and drive, fueling creativity and entrepreneurship. This adaptability allows the economy to pivot and respond to new challenges. Yet America faces real issues: inequality, debt, global competition, and the need for sustainability. Still, the economy has weathered crises and reinvented itself time and again. The story of American wealth is ongoing, written every day by its people. The nation's riches come from resources, ideas, and the ambition of those who call it home. The American dream endures, evolving with each new generation, and the journey continues.